Namaste. Today I'm going to read Volume 3, Book 4, KotiRudra Samhita, Chapter 13, The Origin of Vatuka in the Shiva Puran. Hariom Tatsat. Sutta said, O Brahmins, it has been narrated to you how Shiva came to be worshipped in the three worlds in the form of a phallic image. What else do you wish to hear? The sages said, O Holy Lord, please narrate the glory of the phallic image known as Andakeshvara. Andakeshvara. Similarly, it behoves you to mention the glory of other phallic images willingly. Sutta said formerly, the Asura Andaka resorted to the deep ditch of the ocean and kept the three worlds under his control. He harassed the gods. He used to come out of the ditch and harass the people. Then he of great exploit re-entered the ditch. O great sages, the gods were grief-stricken. Imploring Shiva again and again, they mentioned their miseries to him. Sutta said, on hearing the words of the gods, the delighted Lord Shiva, the slayer of the wicked and the goal of the good, replied. Shiva said, I shall slay that Asura Andaka, the murderer of the gods. O gods, proceed with the army. I too shall come along with the gunners. When that terrible antagonist of the gods and the sages came out of the ditch, the gods went and occupied it. The Asuras and the gods fought terrible battle. By the blessings of Shiva, the gods became very strong. Attacked and tormented by the gods, the Asura returned to the ditch when he was pierced through with the trident by Shiva, the Supreme Soul. Remaining there, he meditated on Shiva and prayed. On seeing you at the hour of death, one becomes identical with you instantaneously. Thus eulogized, the delighted Shiva spoke to him. Mention the boon you wish to have. I shall grant it to you. On hearing these words, the Asura said again, after bowing to and eulogizing Shiva with pious feelings. Andaka said, O Lord of gods, if you are delighted, grant me the auspicious devotion to you. Taking unusual compassion on me, be stationed here. Sutta said, requested thus, Shiva hurled that Asura into that ditch. He himself stood there in the form of a phallic image with a desire to help the world. If a man worships Andakesa every day, his desires are fulfilled within 6 months. The Brahmin who worships the beneficent phallic image for his livelihood for 6 months becomes a Devalaka, the worshipper of idol for subsistence. He is not authorized in ordinary rites of Brahmins. The sages said, who is a Devalaka? What is his function? O intelligent one, mention that for the guidance of the people. Sutta said, there was a Brahmin, Dadichi, who was well versed in the Vedas and highly virtuous. He was engrossed in his devotion to Shiva and was interested in Shiva's law. His son was known as Sudarshana, whose wife was Dhukula. She was born of a defiled family. The husband was always under her control. He had 4 sons. Of course, he used to worship Shiva every day. Then it happened that Dadichi had to go and live in another village along with his kinsmen. The kinsmen did not let him go back. While living home, Dadichi, the excellent devotee, had already instructed his son, be devoted to Shiva. Sudarshana's son also worshipped Shiva. O great sages, thus a long time elapsed. So once it happened that on a Shivaratri occasion, when all observed fast, Sudarshana had his sexual intercourse with his wife and then performed the worship. But before he performed the worship, he abstained from taking bath. For this misdeed, Shiva was infuriated and said, Lord Shiva said, O knave, you had sexual intercourse with your wife on the occasion of Shivaratri. Without taking bath, you performed the worship. You are an indiscreet fellow. Because you have done this consciously, be sluggish and insensible. You are an untouchable person for me. Avoid touching me. Suta said, cursed thus by Lord Shiva, Sudarshana, the son of Dadichi, attained insensibility immediately, deluded by Shiva's Maya. O Brahmins, meanwhile, Dadichi, the excellent devotee of Shiva, returned from the other village and heard the details. He too was rebuked by Shiva. Hence, he felt much distressed. He cried, Oh, I am doomed for this foul deed of my son. Dadichi, honored amongst the good, grumbled, again and again, my excellent family is damned by the misbehavior of my vicious son. That son too is doomed. He has taken a vicious slut to his wife. Thus the son was rebuked by his father, who repented. The father then worshipped Parvati with excellent rites, sincere devotion, and perseverance for the happiness of his son. Sudarshan himself performed the worship of Parvati with great devotion, adopting the path of Chandi worship and with auspicious hymns. Thus, by various means and with sincere devotion, the father and the son appropriated the goddess Parvati, who is favorably disposed towards her devotees. O sage, by the devotion of their service, Chandika was delighted. She adopted Sudarshana as her son. For the sake of her adopted son, she herself implored Shiva. Shiva, who was angry, had become quite calm. The son also was delighted. Then, realizing the Lord Shiva, the bull-bannered deity, was delighted, she bowed to him herself and placed the son on his lap. Making the ablution of the son with ghee, Parvati handed over to her son Sudarshana the 3-stringed sacred thread with a single knot and imparted instructions in Shiva Gayatri, consisting of 16 syllables. Then the Brahmin boy performed the Samkalpa Puja, worship by mental conception, 16 times with the 5-syllable mantra with the word Shri prefixed to Shiva. Beginning with ceremonial ablution and ending with the conclusion, with the concluding obeisance, he worshipped the bull-bannered deity by means of devotional mantras, musical instruments, and adorations in the presence of the sages. He recited various names of Shiva. Then the delighted Shiva and Chandika said, wealth, food grain, etc., whatever is offered to me shall be taken by you. There is no sin in this action. In the rites concerning me, you will officiate as the chief, especially so in the rites concerning the goddess. Ghee, oil, etc., everything offered to me shall be taken by you. When the Prajapatya rite is performed, only one of you shall be there. Then alone is the worship complete, or everything becomes fruitless. The tilaka must be made round. Then you shall take bath. Sandhya prayers to Shiva shall be offered and his Gayatri repeated. After rendering service to me at the outset, the other rites shall be performed according to the family tradition. When everything is thus performed, there shall be welfare. Your blemishes has been excused by me. Suta said, after saying this, the Supreme Soul Shiva consecrated his 4 sons as Vatukas in the 4 quarters. After keeping Sudarshana as her son with herself, she granted boons to his sons and blessed them in several ways. The goddess said, Between you two, whoever becomes my Vatuka shall be victorious. No doubt need be entertained in this respect. He who worships you has worshipped me too. You shall perform your duties always, O son. Suta said, thus boons were granted to the noble Sudarshana and his sons by Shiva and Shivani out of pity for the welfare of the worlds. Because they had been established by Shiva and Shivani. They are known as Vatukas. Those who neglect penance are known as Tapodhamas. Thanks to the mercy of Shiva and Shivani, they expanded in various ways. Their worship at the outset is the great worship of Shiva, the Supreme Soul. No worship shall be performed by any person as long as he has not performed Shiva's worship. If it is performed, it does not turn out to be auspicious. Whether auspicious or inauspicious, the Vatuka is not to be eschewed. In the Prajapatya rite and at the feast, a single Vatu is considered excellent. In the rites of Shiva and Shivani, the difference is marked. O excellent one, hear the same. O faultless one, I shall explain it now. I shall explain it. I shall explain in the manner I have heard the event that happened in the city of King Bhadra near the shrine of Andakesa during the daily rite of feasting in the Prajapatya rite. A certain bana was given to the king by Shiva, who was satisfied with his devotion. The king was addressed to by the Lord mercifully. The bana will be raised and bound in the morning. It will fall down in the night. This will happen when the Prajapatya rite is full and complete. Otherwise, this bana will remain steady even during the night. After saying this to the king, the delighted Shiva, the storehouse of mercy, vanished. O great sage, the king adopted the procedure accordingly. The Prajapatya rite was performed every day in accordance with the rules of Shiva worship. As the rites became full and complete, the bana rose up itself in the morning and fell down during the night. On one occasion, the function of the Vatu took place in the beginning. The bana then fell even before the feast. On seeing it there, the learned men were asked by the king. The Brahmins are at their feast. Why is the bana not flying? How did it fall down? O Brahmins, tell me the truth. Thus asked the Brahmins. The excellent scholars said, O great king, while feasting the Brahmins, Vatuka, the son of Chandi, was fed at the outset. Shiva was satisfied, hence the bana fell down. On hearing it, the king and the people were surprised. They praised them. Thus the greatness of the Vatukas was enhanced by Shiva. The Vatukas are glorified as excellent ritualists by those who know things of yore. At first, Shiva's worship shall be performed by the Vatukas alone, not otherwise. None else is entitled to the worship, as Shiva has said. They shall conclude the worship with the remarks, let the worship be complete. This alone is their work, nothing else. O great sages, thus whatever was asked has been narrated to you, on hearing which a man obtains the fruit of Shiva's worship. Footnotes. (140) According to one school of Shiva cult, the 16-syllable formula known as Shiva Gayatri is the following. Vamadevaya Dhimahi Dhyayona Prachodayat. Here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Om Prabhu Prananatam, Vyomeshwanatam, Jagannatanatam, Saranantabhajan, Bhutiptamboye Shrambutanattam, Shivam Shankaram, Shivameshanavidi, Om Kapurakaram, Karanavartaram, Sansarasaram, Bhujagendrahatam, Satavasatam. Hari Om Tat Sat.